Today our topic is factoring trinomials in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're still working with factoring trinomials, they're just going to be a little different. First off, key terms, a factored form polynomial equation. We have factors that equal 0. So your product is 0. And then you're multiplying two things together. So these are factors. A binomial is a two-term polynomial. And a trinomial is a three-term polynomial. Example 1, factor 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. So this is very similar to what we did before. However, if you notice, there's now a number in front of that x squared. So it's going to change things a little bit. Still, we start off with putting that first term in the first blank, last term in the last blank. What are our factors of 2x squared? Well, we have 2x times 1x. 1 times 2 is 2. X times x is x squared. So now we're going to be working with numbers in front of the x's. Factors of 3 would be 1 times 3 or negative 1 times negative 3. Now if we look, our middle term is negative, so we do want to use the negative numbers. Now with this type of factoring, there is going to be a little bit of guess and check, which is why I provided us two sets of factor boxes. So first off, we want to put our x terms around the 2x squared because 2x times 1x will give us 2x squared. Then we have to align up our other factors. So if we just put the minus 1 next to 1x and the minus 3 next to 2x, let's multiply and see if we end up getting this negative 7x. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. And then 1x times negative 3 is negative 3x. So add up that diagonal. Did that give us negative 7x? No, it gave us negative 5x. So this setup isn't going to work. So we have to rearrange things. So if we go over here to our second factor box, we can set this up. We don't have to carry everything over. But if we leave our x terms where they are, we just need to change our constants. Flip them around. So put minus 1 next to 2x and put minus 3 next to 1x. Now let's see if that works. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x, and 1x times negative 1 is negative 1x. Add up your diagonal and we get negative 7x, which is what we are looking for. So our factors are 2x minus 1, right here on the side, times 1x, or just x, minus 3, right here at the top. So that would be this trinomial in factored form. All right, another example for us, 3x squared plus 14x minus 5. So again, we just start off with those first term in the first box, last term in the last box. Multiples of 3x squared would be 3x times 1x. Multiples of negative 5 would be 1 times negative 5 or negative 1 times positive 5. So again, we're just going to start, guess and check a little bit and figure out which combination of these factors work for us. So let's start by putting 3x here at the top and 1x on the side. And then we can start by using this factor. We'll put minus 5 next to the 3x and plus 1 next to the 1x. Multiply. We get 1x times negative 5 would give us negative 5x. And then 1 times 3x would give us 3x. Add up that diagonal, and we would get negative 2x. Well, we're looking for 14x, so that's not going to work. Now, we also have the combination of a positive 5 and a negative 1. Now, if we were to do that, 1x times positive 5 would give us positive 5x, and 3x times negative 1 would give us negative 3x. So if we just flip the signs, it would just flip the sign of the sum. So we would get, instead of negative 2x, positive 2x. So now we just know that the 5 can't go next to the 3. We need to flip the 5 and the 3 around. So if we set up our new box, 3x squared and negative 5, the 3x can stay and the 1x can stay, but we know that instead of the 5 being next to the 3, we're going to put it next to the 1x. And let's make it positive. And then we'll put the negative 1 next to the 3x. So we flip the location of the 5 and the 1. Now let's try multiplying that to see if that works. When we multiply 1x times negative 1, we get negative 1x. And we multiply 3x times 5. 3x times 5x is 15x. Add up your diagonal. Negative 1x plus 15x is 14x, which is what we're looking for. So now we have our factors. We have 3x minus 1 is our first factor, and 1x plus 5, so x plus 5. That would be our polynomial in factored form. Next example. Factoring negative 4x squared plus 12x plus 7. Now, if you notice, our first term is negative. We want to factor that negative out first. We want to take the negative away from each term. So when we do that, it really just flip-flops the sign. So negative 4x squared becomes positive 4x squared. Positive 12x becomes negative 12x. And positive 7 becomes negative 7. We're just taking out a negative. Now we're going to factor what's inside the parentheses right here. So we're going to take 4x squared and put it in the first blank. And we're going to take negative 7, put it in the last blank. Now we need factors of 4x squared. Well, that would be 4x times 1x. Another set of factors would be 2x times 2x. Then our factors of negative 7. Factors of negative 7 are 1 and negative 7, and negative 1 and positive 7. So we have a lot of different combinations that we can make. So a lot of guessing and checking for this one. So let's start off with using 4x and 1x. We can put 4x here and 1x here. And then let's just start with 1 and negative 7. So we can put plus 1 and minus 7. Check those diagonals. 1x times 1 is 1x, and 4x times negative 7 is negative 28x. 1x minus 28x is negative 27x. Now remember, just switching the signs, making this negative 1, making this positive 7, will just make our diagonal a positive 27x instead. So we don't want to just change the signs, we want to actually change the order. So let's put 4x, and then we'll put minus 7 next to 4x, and then we can take 1x and put the positive 1 next to 1x. So we really want to flip around that order, move the numbers around. We know this is 4x squared, and we know this is negative 7. We really want to check those diagonals. So 1x times negative 7 is negative 7x, and 4x times 1 is 4x. Negative 7x plus 4 is negative 3x. And then if we were to switch it to a positive 7 and a negative 1, it would come out to positive 3x. Neither of those is what we're looking for. We are looking for negative 12x. So now we want to switch over and try the 2x times the 2x. See if that's going to work. All right, so let's use 2x and 2x to make that 4x squared. And then we can put negative 1 on top and positive 7. Let's try negative 1 and positive 7. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x, and 7 times 2x is 14x. That gives us a positive 12x, but we're looking for negative 12x. So if we flip-flop our signs, we do 2x plus 1, and then do 2x minus 7. We get 4x squared there. 2x times 1 is 2x. 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. And negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. Right there in that diagonal, we finally get the negative 12x. So as you see, it might take a little bit of time to get those factors, but we eventually get there. So now our factors are 2x plus 1 and 2x minus 7. But we have to remember we factored out that negative. So when we write it, we're going to put a negative in front, then put 2x plus 1 times 2x minus 7. All right, one last example for us, just to make sure we got the hang of it. Factor negative 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Again, that first number is negative, so we're going to take a negative out. So it just flip-flops the signs of all of our numbers. Now we're factoring what's inside the parentheses, so we're using 2x squared and 3. And then our middle term, what we're looking for is 5x. So factors of 2x squared would be 2x times 1x. Factors of 3 would be 1 times 3. So let's just try out a combination. We can do 2x and 1x. And then let's put plus 1 next to 2x and plus 3 next to 1x. 1x times 1 is 1x. 2x times 3 is 6x. Add up that diagonal, we get 7x. We're looking for 5x, so that's not going to work. So set up our next factor box. We can keep the 2x and the 1x where they are, but let's just flip-flop the 1 and the 3. Let's put 3 next to 2x and 1 next to 1x. 1x times 3 is 3x, and 2x times 1 is 2x. Add up that diagonal, and we get the 5x that we are looking for. So now we have our factors, 2x plus 3, 1x plus 1. However, we did take out a negative when we started, so that negative needs to be written in front of our two factors. And that right there is our final answer. All right, just a reminder for you guys, take your 9.6 note quiz for practice. Practice this concept before you come to class. I did provide extra factor boxes on the bottom of your notes for the sake of this note quiz, so use them as you need. Thank you for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.